This segment demonstrates how to assemble your new Groundwork 200-pound tow broadcast spreader. To begin, slide the spreader impeller, part 26, onto the impeller shaft and secure it using a small cotter pin, part 12. Now assemble the hopper, part 22, onto the impeller shaft as shown. Next, slide the Delrin bushing, part 19, down onto the impeller shaft. Then secure it using the hairpin agitator, part 13. Now assemble 4 quarter 20 by 2 inch hex bolts, part 4, 4 small washers, part 7, and 4 nylon washers, part 8. Then insert them down through the hopper and frame. Now secure all 4 bolts using 4 quarter 20 nylock hex nuts, part 10. Now turn the assembly upside down and remove the pre-attached hardware, leaving the bolt in place. Now align the hitch tube, part 25, and loosely secure it with the nut and washer you just removed. Now insert the 5/16 by 1 inch hex bolt, part 20, and fully secure it with a 5/16 nylock nut, part 11. Now fully secure the other bolt. Next, align a hitch brace, part 23, with the hitch tube and loosely secure it with a 1/4 inch by 1 3/4 inch hex bolt, part 5, and a 1/4 inch nylock hex nut, part 10. Leave it a bit loose for now. Repeat for the other hitch brace. Then fully secure the hitch braces to the hitch tube. Using a 1/4 inch by 1 3/4 inch hex bolt, part 5, and a 1/4 inch nylock nut, part 10. Next, fully secure the hitch brackets to the hitch tubes. Now slide a plastic spacer, part 14, onto the side of the axle with the hole at the end. Then slide on a wheel, part 21, ensuring the valve stem is facing out. Next, slide on a 3/4 inch washer, part 9. Then secure it with a small cotter pin, part 12. Now slide a spacer, part 14, onto the side of the axle with the hole a few inches in. Then slide on a wheel and secure it with a 3/16 by 2 inch cotter pin, part 2. Now, turn the assembly over onto its wheels. Next, press the grip, part 31, onto the flow control lever. Then insert the end of the flow control rod with a single bend, part 28, into the flow control arm. Now insert the other end of the flow control rod through the hole in the side gate bracket under the hopper. Then assemble 2 1/4 inch by 2 inch hex bolts, part 4, and 2 small washers, part 7, to the flow control arm, part 29. Now assemble 2 more small washers, part 7. Then slide the assembly through the hitch tube arm and loosely secure it with 2 1/4 inch nylock nuts, part 10. Do not fully tighten it yet. Ensure the lever is in the off position. Next, assemble the 1/4 by 3/4 inch carriage bolt, part 6, and flow control stop, part 18. Then slide the assembly up through the flow control gauge and secure it with a nylon washer, part 8, and a 1/4 inch nylon wing nut, part 16. Now, press a tube plug, part 17, into the end of the hitch tube. Then align the hitch bracket, part 27, and secure it with two 5/16 by 2 inch hex bolts, part 3, and two 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part 11. Then insert the hitch pin, part 1, and secure it with a 3/32 inch hair cotter pin, part 15. To calibrate the flow control setting, move the control lever to the off position. Then slide the control bracket along the control tube until the shutoff plate in the bottom of the hopper is closed. Now, lightly tighten the hex nuts that fasten the flow control bracket to the control tube. Then, set the adjustable stop to 5. Now pull the control lever against the stop and verify that the shutoff plate is opened about halfway. If the shutoff plate does not open halfway, adjust the position of the control bracket until the shutoff plate opens about halfway and then closes completely. Now, tighten the hex nuts. Now place the cover, part 24, on the hopper.